welcome back to the Smoke Shack Pod. You have Connor and Steven here. Today we're going to review the Cohiba Nicaraguan.
This is a great looking cigar. This is Cohiba's based in the General Cigar Company's portfolio. This is a 5x52 Robusto. It's a Honduran Habano wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and Nicaraguan filler. Fantastic looking cigar. The wrapper itself, pretty dry, not a whole lot of veins, very subtle veins.
There's a little teeth in there if you see it in the right light.
Yes, there is. Definitely some good teeth in there.
A little bumpy.
Mine's a little bumpy, yeah, okay. I say it's a little bumpy. It's not fully even on the roll, just with those pockets of bumps.
We got these JR Cigar, and they've been in the humidor at 74 humidity for about 2 months.
Good firm spring though on them. The aroma here on the wrapper for me is a earthy with a little bit of chocolate, very subtle in the chocolate, but quite earthy, almost a barnyard-like earthiness.
I'm getting like a stony, kind of like a concrete, powdery, maybe a little bit of minerals in there, but on the foot it's more of a barnyard hay. I'm not getting any manure, maybe that light hint of chocolate like Steve mentioned.
The toe here for me, I got black tea with just a little bit of lemon, citrus, an earthiness, and just a subtle bit of spice.
There's not a huge lot of spring here. It's pretty firmly rolled, but
double cap on top doesn't look the greatest. The upper cap does look pretty good, but the lower cap not the best. Go ahead and cut these open.
fire them up here. Oh, cold draw first. Yeah, black tea. Black tea on the dry draw.
Yeah, I get the black tea. Not as much as the citrus. A little bit of earthiness as well. We're gonna go ahead and light these up.
There's a very earthy aroma to the initial smoke. Very, maybe like a light rye spice in there. Coffee, a black coffee. Very tasty.
Yeah, definitely some coffee notes here to open up. I'm getting like a black pepper or some type of spice, like Connor's saying. Hard to denote exactly what it is yet, but there is the coffee in there. A little woody as well. Not sure exactly what that note is just yet, but we're going to go ahead and smoke these down just to about the end of the first third, and then catch you back up with our thoughts here on the first third.
Hey, welcome back. We're going to review the first third of the cigar here. I think you can see that it's a pretty nice, white, clean ash. Not very flaky at all yet. The tasting notes I got on my first third, I got a spice that I haven't really hammered out yet. I will say that initially the smoke was kind of warm. It got really cool towards the end of the last third there, first third. I got a roasted coffee flavor that's kind of mellowing out, a leather, sort of a grainy oaky taste, and slightly creamy. There's also a hint of a pepper taste that I can't really figure out what it is yet, so hoping I'll pick up on that. But again, it's a very cool smoke. A very good draw on this cigar.
Yeah, my flavor profile is a little bit similar to Connor's. I got coffee here, a little bit of nice creaminess into it. There's nice cocoa on there, like cocoa powder. It's not real chocolatey, just a nice little shavings. A little bit of cedar in there as well, as it's just slightly woody. And then there is a subtle spice. Typically, these Nicaraguan cigars will have a lot more spice to them. I think this Cohiba is a little bit more subtle.
Very subtle.
And I think it's hard to pick out exactly what the note is, but it's a nice spice there. It's your typical Nicaraguan spice, whether it be the red pepper, black pepper, or some type of rye spice. But it's subtle. It's in the background. The flavors really aren't super rich here. But we do start off with a mild medium as far as the strength goes. So really not a lot of richness expected. So a little bit punching above its weight class here with the richness, but still not hitting its highest notes. I think it's very, very smooth, very, very well balanced. In fact, I think that's the reason we have such a hard time deciphering these flavor notes, because it's just so well balanced. It does take a second for you to digest. I mean, you had to smoke it a little bit. It took us a little bit to even really hammer out one or two or three of these notes. Very, very well balanced, though. That's not a knock. That's a good thing that it took us a little bit. And then very good complexity here with the different flavors.
Very good burn line going here on mine.
Yeah, nice char lines on both. My draw has been ideal in the first third. Solid ash, like Connor mentioned earlier. All in all, so far, very good smoke. So we're going to go ahead and smoke these down to about the halfway point, which shouldn't be too much longer with these 5-inch cigars, these Robustos. But while we do that, we're going to hammer out some of our thoughts on the second third, and then we'll catch you back up here shortly.
Real quick, I just want to mention that I did notice there is a bit of a flaking going on in the wrapper there. Don't know if you can see that very well, but just something to point out. Hopefully it doesn't affect the pull on the rest of the cigar here.
All right. Catch you back here shortly. Bringing you back in here at about the halfway point in this cigar. Flavor profile's not really changed up much at all for me. The only thing that I've added in my flavor profile here is earthy tones, but I still have cedar, the cream, the cocoa powder, and some subtle coffee as well. The spice has gone out the door, the cream has amplified up, but yet the flavors still are not hitting their peak richness. And the strength has gone up here to a medium in strength. Still smooth, still intricate, still well balanced, but still just not hitting that peak richness. Connor, did you get anything different than me? Hopefully you did, because this is quite boring on my end.
Well, first my burn got a little uneven there. I'm probably gonna have to touch this up, if you can see that. I'm not sure if it's because of that wrapper popping off there or not, but gonna give that a touch up when we cut back out here. I've noticed in the last couple of minutes there's an aroma that picked up in the actual smoke itself, the exhale or the burning off of the cigar. I can't really quite pick it out, but there's a really rich kind of spicy flavor coming off of it. My flavor profile actually has changed. I got more of a creamy, buttery, a spice that I can't really pick out, and then there was a bit of a musty, like barnyard hints in there. Towards the very end of this second third, I also picked up a nutty flavor. I haven't really been able to figure out exactly which nuts, but it's there. Still a very good draw on the cigar. Yeah, I think that's it for the second third.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and smoke these down a little bit more, and then pick you back up in our final third with our final thoughts here. We'll see you back here shortly.
All right, so we're cutting back in here to review the final third and our overall cigar scores. Final third, not much really changed in the flavor profile for me. It stayed pretty consistently with a nutty taste. I picked up a little bit more of a creamy butter in there. And the overall tasting score, it remained very smooth throughout the entire cigar. I thought there was a moderately to intricate flavor complexity. Not an extremely rich flavor, but very well balanced in its flavor profile. I'm going to give my overall tasting score a 68 out of 70. My pre-light, I'm going to go 9 out of 10. I thought the roll was a little on the bumpy side, but it burned even and it had a decent spring to it. It was firm. I'm a big fan of the matte finishes. And the combustion, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I did have to relight, but after that, it really recorrected itself. I think it was just that flaking on the wrapper. It was burning evenly on the inside. Presentation, 9 out of 10 on the pre-light, 7 out of 10 on the combustion. And the presentation, I'm going to 9 out of 10. I think it's a very classy, not flashy cigar presentation. So my overall score is a 93. Very good smoke.
Wow, very nice. Final third for me, flavor profile. Gets a little bit nutty here. Nice cedar as well. I think that's the only two nice flavors here. There's chocolate, there's malt, and a subtle spice. Not that those are not nice flavors. I like those flavors. But they are rather dry and harsh here. They kind of fight each other. The balance is off on the flavors. You get the harshness of like all the flavors. They're either dry or they're like the spice is too harsh. And then the smoothness takes a hit there as well. It's a little bit coarse. Flavors really just have not hit their peak richness throughout this entire cigar, including here in the final third, but still very well complex. I think complexity throughout the cigar was really nice. This is a medium to full finish here as far as the strength goes. My char line was really nice and even here. Got a good solid ash as well. Very ideal on the draw. As far as overall flavor score goes, my evolution for me just didn't do it. I have a 2.5 here on the evolution. It used a lot of the same flavor profiles. In fact, the first and second third for me were identically the same. And then the final third, it does change up here nicely, but then I get like the bad flavors. It's kind of strange, but 2.5 there on the evolution. Finish was nice though. I think that was the really nice part of the cigar. I got a 4.5 out of 5 on the finish. It was nice and long, very rich, good flavors there on the finish. This final third, a little coarse on the finish, but not too bad. Overall flavor score for me being a 61 out of 70. Not great on the flavor. Pre-light, 9 out of 10 there. We just had some bumpiness in the roll. Not huge issue there. And then combustion-wise, I had a 10 out of 10. I think mine just burned perfectly. Nice, solid ash, really even char line. I think this is the waviest that char line has been. And, you know, that's not real wavy. Presentation-wise, got a 8 out of 10 here. I think it was, like Connor said, it's not super classy, but it's definitely upscale, looks good. Final score being an 88 out of 100 for this cigar. Really not too bad. I think the flavors there could have been a lot better. You know, flavor score really takes a lot of the hit there. For a 21 and 50 cent MSRP cigar, really not what I wanted as far as flavor. Construction wise though, definitely what you want as far as a $20 cigar. Very well constructed. You know, like we said, just the bumpiness is really the only hit that I had on mine. It burned combustion wise really great, but just really not doing it for me. And you know, with the Cohiba brand, it's such a big brand name, you know, internationally known. Now it's more of the Cuban Cohiba, but still you're playing off of that Cuban Cohiba brand, and it's such a big brand, and that's why you're able to charge $21 a stick. But this is not a $21 a stick cigar. You know, I'm sure you can get these a lot cheaper in a lot of places, in sampler packs and stuff. Really, for $10, $12, I could buy this. Now, Connor did enjoy his a lot, but probably still wouldn't spring $21 for this cigar. it just is. It's tough to put that price point on this cigar and compete in this cigar world. Those are that's just my 2 cents there. As far as the overall cigar, though, again, I wouldn't be buying this thing for more than $7-8 a stick. Definitely wouldn't be on my radar looking out for sticks. Picking this one up, but really nothing really bad to knock here. I mean, just a little bit of coarseness in the flavor. Flavors are, relatively the same throughout. Richness just doesn't hit peak levels, but really not a horrible score there. Connor, any final thoughts for you?
No, I think the 88 is still a very good score. I think what boosted the flavor profile for mine was I did get more of a pickup from the first to the second third. And the final third, I didn't smoke it down towards the end like Steve does. You tend to quit more around the wrapper. I think this would be a very good cigar to have with a bourbon or maybe even a white wine, actually. More of a summer cigar, I would think. Something you want to have outside where you're eating a dinner. I think it would pair very nice with like a grilling day when you're making a steak or something and have this outside.
Yeah, I had some nice malt flavors in there, a little bit of creaminess as well. You could pick up a beer with this. You got to be selective on the beer, but there is malt and cream here. Not IPA related at all,
no.
But definitely something a little heavier on the beer side, but a little bit more malty, if that makes sense. But anyway, if you liked the video, please drop a like below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps us bring this content to you. It helps us afford the cigars to bring this content to you again.
Also, please leave comments. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what we could do better. Give us recommendations on cigars to smoke. If you've had these cigars, give us your opinions on them.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, please leave your recommendations for more cigar videos, as I will be reading through those, and we'll hopefully get to a lot of those reviews. We'll see you next time here on the Smoke Shack.